Previously on Balls.
Cavin Johnson, the SuperSport United coach, because we do return to club football this weekend. We've got the two Telcom knockout semi-finals, SuperSport United against Pirates and Chiefs against Platinum Stars. Cavin, is that you?
Yes, Neil.
Cavin, mate, sorry to mess you around this morning. I got all excited because I got Danny Jordan on to tell us that Spain, there's no way Spain can slip out of that result the other night, which was very exciting. Cavin, did you watch the Spain game?
Yeah, I went to watch it.
Yeah, how excited were you, mate?
Not excited because it does nothing for me. It does nothing for the country. you beat the champions. I'm happy you beat them. But in one moment, we should have been going to the World Cup. That's my. In all respect to Gordon, I think he had a good game plan against the Spanish. But also, the Spanish didn't come. I didn't think they looked like they came out of the starting blocks.
Yeah.
In one moment. But then I also look forward, and I think that's what they'll be like in the World Cup, and they will not go far in the World Cup.
Yeah.
Because they haven't got a revitalized team. Because when I look at the rest of the world, and I look at the Germans, I look at the South Americans,
yeah,
I look at the Dutch, they all flying, huh? They flying.
Absolutely. So what you're saying to me, Kevin, is that you think Spain, after winning 2 European Championships and a World Cup successively, you think Spain might be starting on the little downhill slope that comes after a great period of success?
It happens to all the countries. It takes you 25 years, 30 years to win a World Cup. And when you get there, it happens immediately afterwards. You cannot do anything about it. It's just the way football is. And that's the beauty of football. Because when you look at the Germans, 12 years ago, they were nowhere to be found. They were just making it to all the big championships. But 15 years down the line, when you look at the team now, and you look at their league, Neil, it's phenomenal to watch German football.
It is.
At such a high speed, such a high pace, and you take the same thing, and you look at the Spanish football 2 years ago. When you were watching Spanish football, it was the best thing to look at out of all the leagues in the world.
Yeah.
And they win the European Cup, they win the World Cup, and you can actually see in the Spain game, the whole of the Spanish game is going a little bit down. And the same can be said about when you watch the Italians, when you watch the French. All the leagues were at the penultimate when they're about ready to win the World Cup.
Yeah, Kevin, I agree completely. I mean, watching England this week against Chile, a 2-0 defeat at Wembley, and then Germany, Per Mertesacker scoring the only goal at Wembley, two defeats at Wembley. That doesn't happen very often, and English football certainly, you would say, is in a slump at the moment. Spanish football has to come down from the enormous peaks that they were at. But I was still up on my feet. You know, that Kune save in the last minute, Bernard Parker might have had 2 or 3 actually, and
no doubt.
It was exciting. It's nice to see us in the headlines, mate.
I think Kuno played a very good game. I mean, in all respect, I look at it and I say, you played a good game. Wrong time. What mentality did you have when you were playing the bloody Ethiopians? It was just a walk in the park. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, mate,
this is a South African problem. This is our problem. This is where we need to repair our football, because South Africa is the best country in Africa.
Yep.
And we have not realized that. As South Africans, we have not put authority on that. We have all the facilities. There's not a facility that we don't have.
Yep.
We have world-class facilities. We have bloody second-grade mentality.
Yeah.
And that, for me, is sad, because it's going to take a lot more than just natural footballers to fix that up. It's going to take a generation of intelligent mothers and fathers to be able to fix that up. I mean, I've embarked on a new thing now, Neil.
Yeah.
If I sign you, and I said I'm going to start doing this from next year, if I sign you, I want to see your parents. I want to see your uncle. I want to see your mother. I want to see your sisters before I sign you. I want to know what things you have in check, what checks and balances you have, what support systems you have besides football. And this is what I'm going to do with all the players, old or young. I don't care whether you've played 20 years in the PSL. I want to see your mother. I want to see your father. I want to see who your sisters are. I want to see who you're messing around with. Because that is the next generation, I think, of how to get our players to the next level.
Well, you know, Cavin, that's exactly what Arsene Wenger famously did when he got to Arsenal. He went through all the friends, he went through all the associates, he checked that, and that's why he doesn't sign many English players, because he's able to protect young guys like Cesc Fabregas, Matthew Flamini, even Nicolas Anelka. He was able to protect them for a while from the influences around them and make them into top-class footballers without being dragged down by their hangers-on and their families. And I think, Cavin, I think that's a fascinating... Mate, you've just absolutely opened up a whole vista of how South African football has to move ahead, you know, and how it has to distance young stars from maybe sometimes even from their upbringing.
Yeah, because in all respect, Neil, we all want to win. We all want to win. Guys, but we have to lose. We have to lose now in order to win later.
Yeah.
I cannot run the players for 2 seasons and run him dead. And when he's not useful anymore, I kick him under his arm.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that is fair.
Yeah. So you're saying we have to change the culture?
I think we have to change the culture. That's my personal opinion.
Brilliant stuff, mate. Kevin, I always...
Because
go on.
It's easy, Neil. I go and get 3 foreigners to kick the hell out of anybody in front of me. Why? Because I know he's just here to get the money and then go move off. So I go and buy 3, 4, 5 gorillas. They come in here, they kick you in the hell and things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I sometimes look at a lot of players and I look at the foreigners who are earning big money in this country. Yeah, not normally big by, but they're doing nothing. They sit on the bench.
Mate. Hey, Kevin, it's fascinating talking.
Money.
Yeah. Listen,
and put them on 5 guys, and then I'll get a better product.
Absolutely. I mean, and I have heard that you're not the only one that's saying that. You know, I talk to a lot of coaches in this country, and there is a general fear about how to keep the discipline, how to instill the European discipline. When you look at some of the players now based in Europe and compare their levels of discipline, not just on the field, but obviously off it, how do you instill that? Difficult.
I mean, this kid that came from Pexwala, he made the telling pass to Bernard Parker.
Yeah, Makocha. Yeah.
Makocha, he played for Pexwala.
Yeah.
I was sitting with the director of football from Pexwala.
Yeah.
I watched the game with him.
Yeah.
And he was telling me, this kid is phenomenal. This kid is unreal. This kid has got another level of thinking. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I'm looking at him and I'm saying, oh, I'm happy you're doing this, boy. But what happens when you come back to South Africa? Neil, I'll give you examples. I had boys at Platinum Stars that when we went to play in Durban, in Bloemfontein, their parents would be waiting by the bus. Not to greet them, not to say hello, with their hand out and say, put the money in my hand, and then you can get in the bus.
Mate, yeah.
Now you tell me, that for me is frightening, because I'm thinking, here I am, I'm preparing this boy to play football, and he's worried about, oh, when I get out this bus, I have to go put my hand in my pocket and take out my money. You understand?
Yeah, mate, I do understand. I've never heard it put quite as bluntly as that. You're saying that you turn up on tour with Platinum Stars players, their families would turn up, you know, down in Durban and actually demand right there and then some kind of cash handout. I mean,
exactly.
Jeez.
Not even giving him a moral support or anything. You know, it looks like, and from my analysis, it's like, guys, there's no bread at home, and that's why we chase him. We don't care where you are. We chase him. We need bread at home. We need the bread at home. There's no money at home. We cannot go to X, Y, and Z tomorrow. So before you play, please don't forget, keep the money now.
Well, but see that then we start to broaden the debate, don't we, Cavin, to the whole nation and the way that our country runs and the way that your rural communities have nothing. A top class young lad, much like Wayne Rooney when with his family at Everton, suddenly comes into money. Paul Gascoigne was a classic example up in Newcastle, which is a bit like Polokwane. Not much money up there. He gets into football, gets all the big money, and for the rest of his life, he's paying all his friends. He's looking after all his friends and family instead of actually forging a career, and it hurts.
Exactly. Now you need people to understand that, and the generation that's going to come after that, Neil, it's about understanding, and the people that have mastered that, in all respect, are the Argentinians and the Brazilians.
Yeah.
Because they come from maybe worse situations.
Yeah. Mate, it's brilliant stuff. It's brilliant. Listen, Cavin, you know, you and I could talk, and we must have lunch and talk about this and about the various charities and trusts. I know Aaron McQuena gets very involved like this in trying to find a way to, I don't know, sort out South Africa's social malaise and political, perhaps, malaise, whilst trying to create great footballers who are dragged down, like it or not, by the poverty around them as they're growing up, and by muscle tone, low muscle tone, that kind of stuff that comes with being in sometimes a third world situation, trying to play first world football. Hey, Kevin, you always take it an extra step, mate. Listen, I've got to talk proper football now, and I've got to talk about the Telcom. SuperSport United against Pirates, mate. Orlando Pirates, the African Cup finalists. Having said all the things you've said, can you take Orlando Pirates?
Yeah, I think we can, Neil. In one moment we can try our best. Mm-hmm. In another moment we have to give them the respect. They are, if you may call it, South Africa champions.
Yes, in some ways, yeah.
As far as for some reason they are the South Africa champions. South of Africa, they are the champions.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I respect them in all spheres, all modes of football. But in saying that, we did lose to them in the last game against in the MTN 8, and we didn't lose to them because we played badly. We lost to them because we allowed them back into the door.
Yeah.
We were 1-0 up. We went 2-1 up, and we lost it in the last 5 minutes of the game, of extra time. Yeah. And then we went into penalties, and they scored the penalties. So, yes, at that particular time, according to the MTN 8, my players would have realized that they were in with a chance.
Yeah.
So, coming back after that, I mean, you look at Pirates now, they haven't changed the team. All they've done is they've gone and played a lot more games.
Yep.
And they've ended up winning. But I think we have a chance, the fact that we're playing at home.
Kevin, it's my perception, Kevin, looking at Orlando Pirates' development over the last, since they started in Africa, that they are playing a slightly different brand of football. They're playing it shorter. They're much more jealous of losing the ball. And I think that it's taught them a lot, the African crusade. What do you think?
That for me is one thing that I've taken notice of. We've analysed that type of movement, but at the same time, I'm saying, they're coming to the local game, and yes, the local game is a much faster game. For some reason, we don't allow ourselves to use the real tactical awareness that we try and implement into our training session. The players seem to pass the ball much quicker. They don't know when to hold it. And those things might come into the fray again against Orlando Pirates, and you just have a running game like they used to. So we expect everything from them, Neil. But we prepared ourselves well. Yep. We've tried to analyze their weaker points within the team as it is now. And we think there's, like David Gate, I don't know if he'll be ready. Thabo Matlaba played against Spain. Yes. I thought he was injured. But then at the same time, Andile Jali walked off injured. Whether it's anything to look into or can use for the weekend, we don't know until Saturday. But my team, we prepared ourselves well. And we've done everything that we think regarding our analysis of Orlando Pirates that we can use to our advantage in one moment. And the other thing is that it is our home game, so we'd like to make the Super Stadium a hunting ground for us. And we've now, this is the second semi-final we get to. The MTN 8 we win the semi-final.
Yeah.
Telcom in the semi-final. So we're hoping the gods of football are on our side, and at least we can get to one final. And
obviously, the campaign starts here to try and get fans to come through the door for SuperSport. You and I have spoken about this before. A club as successful as SuperSport, you're in the chair, 2 semi-finals already in your brief tenure there. People have got to turn up and watch a side that plays good football.
Yeah, well, we're on a campaign now, Neil. If you notice that Jabu Pule is involved, as an ex-player, we're getting more involved in Artisville. We want to try and squeeze Artisville completely. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Change the mentality of the people in Artisville, especially to say, guys, this is a super sport. This super sport is in Artisville not because we want to be in Artisville, because we want to take Artisville and make it ours. And we're trying to do that. Hopefully by the end of the season, we're able to get more better brand of football being played. And if we have one trophy in our cupboard, and we really, really chasing for the league and show the people these are things, And it's just been a little bit more of a person's club.
Now, Cavin, listen, I've spoken to Jabu Pule. I fully understand the levels of talent he has. I understand that he's only 32. He's training with you guys as well, isn't he?
Yeah, well, he's going around just to get fit. Neal.
Yeah.
This is my own personal comment. I do believe that everybody in the world needs a second chance.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with the club. It's my own personal thing that I do believe everybody needs a second chance. The only time you don't get a second chance is when you get.
Mate.
And for what he's done, I've known him for a while. For what he's done as far as going on television and talking about the drugs, the drinks, the woman, all those things.
Yeah.
Yes, those are all, for me, it's always a good sign. It's I always say it's how we handle that sign afterwards. Because if you get a relapse, then you're really in the gutter.
Yeah.
You get a relapse from all that.
And you're helping him pull things back together and using him as an ambassador almost, would you say?
Exactly. We use him as an ambassador for the club at the moment. And he's still young. He's still got, Neal, this kid has still got football in his feet.
Yeah, that's what everyone tells me, yeah.
It's like Maradona. Maradona, you can give him, and Paul Gascoigne, give him 20 bottles of whiskey. Give him a football and he still looks the same.
Absolutely, like Gaza. That's what I've always said about Jabu Pule. It's very sad.
Kevin,
sorry?
Yeah, I say Gascoigne was like that.
Absolutely the same, mate. He was led astray by a lot of his friends, led astray by difficult family circumstances, and ended up where he is now, which isn't in a very good place. Although I hear he's trying to dry himself out at the moment. Listen, Kevin, I've come to the end of my time here, but listen very briefly. Chiefs or Platinum Stars in the final? The mighty Kaizer Chiefs or your old club Platinum Stars? Which would you prefer?
Doesn't matter. To me, Neal, play the football. They're both playing good football. Let's go out and have a good semi-final. Yeah. And whoever's in the final, good luck to them.
Brilliant, mate. Kevin, all the best of luck. And mate, I could talk to you all day. And let's have lunch. Let's talk about the idea of developing and protecting players sometimes from the environment that they grew up in. Great stuff, Kevin. Good luck, mate. Good luck, sir.
This is Balls Visual Radio.